This is Decoded, AI for Everyone, the podcast that makes sense of artificial intelligence, not just in your pocket, but in your world.
No, that's too obvious.
Try another angle.
Push it further.
That's not quite there yet.
Here are 10 variations.
Generating image. Draft complete.
Most great ideas don't arrive smoothly. They arrive through friction, debate, experimentation, someone pushing back, someone saying, try again. For most of human history, creativity depended on those moments. But something new was happening. Today, AI can generate ideas instantly. Images, drafts, designs, music, entire presentations, all in seconds. Which sounds wonderful, but it raises a strange question. If creativity improves through friction, what happens when friction disappears? Or maybe the more interesting question is this: can AI actually help us create better friction? This is Decoded, AI for Everyone. I'm Joel Leslie, and today we're exploring creativity in the age of AI, not as effortless generation, but as intentional experimentation. When people imagine creativity, they often picture inspiration, a brilliant idea appearing out of nowhere. But that's rarely how creativity actually works. Most creative work involves resistance. Writers rewrite paragraphs again and again. Designers explore dozens of concepts. Musicians experiment with melodies that don't quite work. Scientists test ideas that fail. Friction is part of the process. Not because creativity is inefficient, but because friction forces thinking. It pushes us to explore possibilities, to question assumptions, to discover ideas we didn't expect. In many ways, friction is the engine of creativity. AI changes this dynamic. Today, creative tools can generate ideas instantly. You can ask for 10 logo concepts, 5 article outlines, a presentation structure, an image, a marketing campaign, even a piece of music. And instead of staring at a blank page, you start with something, often immediately. For many people, that's incredibly helpful. It lowers the barrier to creating. It helps people get started. It accelerates experimentation. But there's an interesting side effect. When ideas arrive instantly, something subtle can happen. We move from creating ideas to choosing between them.
Generating ideas. Option 1. Option 2. Option 3.
Before AI, creativity usually looked like this: think, create, refine, iterate. Now the process often looks like this: generate, select, edit, refine. It's a different type of creativity. Humans increasingly act as curators of generated ideas, and that isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, many creative fields already work this way. Film directors evaluate scenes. Editors refine manuscripts. Creative directors choose between design concepts. But when generation becomes effortless, something else can happen. The temptation to stop thinking too early, to accept the first interesting option, to scroll through possibilities instead of exploring them deeply. AI can generate almost endless variations, and that can feel like creative abundance. But abundance sometimes creates its own problem. When there are too many ideas, we may spend less time exploring any one of them. Instead of pushing a concept further, we simply generate another one. Creativity becomes faster, but sometimes shallower. This isn't a failure of AI. It's a reminder that tools shape behavior. And when a tool removes friction, it's easy to forget that friction was doing something useful. Here's where things get interesting. AI doesn't have to remove friction. It can also create new types of friction. Instead of asking AI to generate answers, you can ask it to challenge them, to question your thinking, to propose alternatives you might never have considered. For example, you can ask AI, argue against this idea. Show me 3 completely different directions. What would a critic say about this? Combine this idea with something unexpected. Give me the opposite perspective. Suddenly, AI becomes something different. Not a creative replacement, but a creative sparring partner. A tool that pushes thinking further rather than ending it early. This is where a quite ethical question appears. From one perspective, AI makes creativity easier. More ideas, faster production, greater access to creative tools. That's a positive outcome. But from another perspective, creativity isn't just about producing things. It's about developing judgement, taste, original thinking. The habits we practice shape the kind of creators we become. If AI does most of the creative exploration for us, we practice less exploration. If we remain actively engaged in the process, AI can expand our creative thinking. The ethical question isn't whether AI should exist in creative work. It's how we choose to use it, to replace thinking or to challenge it. For most listeners, creativity doesn't mean writing novels or composing music. It means everyday thinking, writing an email, preparing a presentation, designing a slide, solving a problem at work, exploring a new idea. AI can help with all of those things, but a simple shift can make a big difference. Instead of asking AI only for answers, occasionally ask it for friction. Ask it to challenge your assumptions. Ask it to push the idea further. Ask it to surprise you. Used that way, AI becomes more than a generator. It becomes a tool for expanding creativity. Creativity was never just about producing ideas. It was about the thinking that happened along the way. AI can remove many of the barriers that once slowed creativity down. But the most interesting ideas will still come from people who stay engaged in the process. People who use AI not just to generate, but to explore. Next time on Decoded, we move into a new part of this conversation. Because once AI becomes embedded in everyday decisions and creative work, a different question appears. What happens when no one is fully responsible for the outcomes? This is Decoded, AI for Everyone, Season 3. For tools, resources, and AI prompting guides, visit promptengineeringcookbook.com. Thanks for listening. I'm Joel Leslie. Stay aware, stay intentional, stay human.